Hello everyone, and today I have another cool video for you guys. In today's video, I am going to be talking about a team building guide for Nihility. This is going to be a Nihility team building guide on showing you guys what I have done with the characters that I've been using Nihility for playing Honkai Star Rail. If you want to follow this guide, you can. You're more than happy to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Also, disclaimer: you could build whatever you want. You could do whatever characters you want to play and stuff like that. So if you want to stick around and watch the whole video, I will have sections for specific parts. The first section we're going to be jumping right into is the characters of talking about this Nihility team building guide. So let's talk about it. So with the characters here that I have on the screen right now are the four characters that I usually use in my team for Nihility, unless it's more of a dot team, so damage overtime team, unless I switch out Luka or I switch out Sampo for either Guinaifen, but that's about it. I do have Welt, but he's not fully leveled up and maxed out. Well, he is fully leveled up, but he's not. His skills and traces are not to the way I want them. Same for Black Swan. I do have them both, but their traces are not maxed out or to the way I want them. They will be. It will take some time, but I will get there sooner or later once I finish the other character that I'm working on. So the team consists of, I do have one defensive character or one character that will be sustaining the whole party is Fu Xuan. Then I have a damage. Then I have like three damage dealers. They just do so much more damage together instead of separate or alone, because I have tested these characters out alone just to see how they are by themselves, if they're in certain other teams and everything else. But I found them that they work very well together with this team comp that I've come up here with. So let's talk about Fu Xuan. So Fu Xuan is she is my defensive unit that will have a defensive field, the Matrix of Prescience. If you've gotten her, it's on the field. It lasts for 3 turns, and with that Matrix of Prescience, she's able to give out specifically from her Eidolons. If you have her at E1, it gives out an extra crit damage bonus of 30%. And then it also gives out, if we go to the ability and go to skill, she also gives out a crit rate of 12% to your whole team, and then which increases their HP, and then it does a bunch more stuff when you have Matrix of Prescience active. This is a very powerful unit. You can use her in multiple different teams besides just Nihility. She is really great and versatile to use. With her light cone, she already shut her eyes. This light cone, I think, is probably the best light cone in the game for preservation users, because this light cone is very busted in what it can do. It increases the health of Fu Xuan, it increases her regeneration rate, but then it also reduces damage to all allies. If anybody gets hit, it's an automatic proc, and it will always stay up. It says it lasts for 2 turns, but if everybody's getting hit at all times, it will always stay up. And then at the beginning of each wave, they will heal 80% of their lost respective HP, no matter what. So that what makes this light cone so good, and it fits Fu Xuan perfectly for what she does. She is a character that I like to have going slow doing this. She goes slow. I do have her speed at 125. No, 127. I was off by 2. I do have her speed at 127. She does go a little bit slower because once you activate Matrix of Prescience, if she is going slow, the proc will stay up longer unless you're trying to proc her ultimate that gives her more stacks to survive every round, but I have found out you don't really need it. You could just keep it open. I keep it at full max, and then we go to once it's still full at max, then I like to use it. I don't use it. I wait until the right perfect time to use it. What makes it really great for using Fu Xuan. But I have her going very slow, so I can. It always stays on the field. So let's jump in and talk about Luka. Luka is another powerful Nihility character that I like to use because he puts bleed on enemies and he removes one debuff from the one buff from the enemy. He removes buffs from the enemies, which makes him very great. His bleed is the highest damage over time effect because it takes 24%, but it's capped at Luka's attack. So you don't have to really worry about his skills and everything else being in the way, because once he does his Larcinating Fist and everything else, he gets stronger. Also, for back on Fu Xuan real quick, these are what I have for her traces. Her relics, I do have the 2 of these, and then her Eidolons are at E1. For Luka, I have this as his light cone and the name of the world. I just have this as a placeholder until I find something else that I want to use, but this is actually really good. For his traces, he is maxed out, as you can see. Relics, I have him all maxed out at plus 15, and he is at E6. Once you get him to E6, his ability becomes very, very much stronger than usual, where he is hitting or between 12,000 whenever you do, because as long as they have a bleed and he does his uppercut, it's going to do the maximum count for uppercuts, and it's just going to do so much more damage for being Luka. Instead, if you do his normal punch and he doesn't have any fighting spirits at all, he's not going to do a lot of it. He will only do like 2,000, but once you get his bleed on the enemy, he just does so much more damage. And he is versatile too, because he is a physical character, and you can run him in just about any other team. Then we're going to go to Sampo Konski himself. Sampo. He is another Nihility character that I enjoy using. He is Wind. This is what I have on his light cone. I have Fermata. I have it at Superimpose 5, so it's at the best. These are his traces. They're all maxed out. These are his relics that I have. And then for the Eidolons, he's also at E6. I just got the last one, Talent Wind Shear Multiplier, which increases his multiplier for doing so much more damage. His damage output is extremely high for Sampo. I mean, very high. If you do his normal attack, he's doing around 4,000. And then if I do his skill, if they have 5 stacks of Wind Shear, he's hitting between 9,000 to 15,000. That's every time I use his ability. If they're fighting multiple guys at once, like a whole party of like 5 or 6, it's not gonna really work well. But once you get him down to one enemy that's left, it works constantly and it works very well. So his ability is really great. I do like Sampo a lot. He is a very high damage dealer as there. And then I have Kafka. Kafka's also pretty darn cool. She is very strong. This is the light cone I'm running on her. I do have Good Night and Sleep Well because it's for every debuff. This is her traces. Her traces are maxed out. Then her relics. These are the relics that I am running. And then for the Eidolons, I have her at E0. So for Kafka, she is part of the main damage dealer that does a lot. But I also have the other 2 characters, since Luka does around about between either 2,000 to 12 to 15. Sampo is doing between 4 to 15. And then Kafka's doing between 12 to 30k. Between about, it's a couple, maybe either 2,000 between 20 to 30k, as long as they have the damage status effects on the damage over time on them, she will be doing high enough damage. So these is my main team, but then I want to switch them out either with another character that I have is Guinevere or Guinaifen. I switch them out for this character. She is very strong. She puts the burn status effect on her. I do have this light cone. It's not maxed out, but I'll have it maxed out sooner or later. She is traces are maxed out. With her skill, she does put on 7.6%, but I also have her at E6. These are the light relics I have, and then I do have her at E6. So if you do get her E6, the stackable fire kiss goes up by another. So now it's at 4 instead of 3, and now it's up to they take 30% increased more damage. So I switch out the other two for when I want to do that and stuff like that. So there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys for this is their stats. So if you want to compare, so this is Guinaifen stats here for what I have, and then this is Kafka's stats that I have here. I don't really have a crit rate or crit damage up high at all on Kafka at all. But this is for what I do. Because I focus on the damage over time abilities that they all be able to do. This is what I have for Sampo's stats here. And then this is what I have for Luka. And then this is what I have for Fu Xuan. For Fu Xuan, I made sure her HP can go up to 10,000. Whenever she proc her Matrix of Prescience, her HP is at 10k. So, which is pretty cool. So, I want to show you guys a fight. I'm going to show you guys a fight of what you can do with these characters. And that should be the end of the video. I will speed it up for anybody who wants to know. I've already did number 4. It's just, I'm going to do the number 1 here so you can see, so I can show you what I mean of the Memory of Chaos stage here. So we're going to run up. We're going to activate that. We are going to activate Sampo's. And then we hit number 2 for Kafka's. So you can see it puts all this on here. The Matrix of Prescience is up. I don't have to worry about it. We are going to speed this up so you can see what I mean. So we're going to do a normal attack, which puts on the status effect. So now he's up to 3. We're going to put this on for bleed. And then you can watch how much damage she now does. But since this is at 3 and not 5, it's not going to do the maximum amount until it gets to 5. So you can see that she did 36,000. I'm going to slow it down a little bit so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And then for the Matrix Prescience, I just need to do a single attack because it's still going to be still up. And I don't really need to proc it yet at all. And so, he puts that on. Also, there's a lot of stuff for defense reduction right now for this Memory of Chaos. So you can see that he's there. I can just do another attack, but since there's 2 dudes, I'm not going to do that. I can do this. You can check and see that he has Draining Hit. These are all buffs that these enemies do have. And Luka can just remove them. So he just removed that one. So now we don't have to do it anymore. And everything else. So now it's back to Fu Xuan. I have to use her thing because her Matrix of Prescience is going to go out because of her talent. And since her Matrix of Prescience is going to go out, it only has 1 turn. I just need to proc it here. And now her ultimate is ready to go and ready for me to use. I could have just killed him, but we're going to just do it now using Kafka's ultimate to just instantly kill them. And now we got to fight the other part. And so we're going to be doing this here. We're going to do So you can see that this team is pretty darn strong that I have, that I've been using. 11,000 with this just there. We're going to do that to put the bleed status effect on him. And then we could just do this. And since her ability is, Fu Xuan's ability is still up, they still all have full HP. I'm going to do Luka's ultimate here to get that extra damage boost if you have his fighting spirit that he has active. Once you do, I do like running the game at a slower speed so I can show you what I'm doing for recording purposes, and sometimes I usually just play in this. So you can see that he's 100% going to die pretty darn soon. See, he just did 17,000, and then here's Luka's. He's not going to do the full amount because he's dead because he doesn't have full HP.
May as well kill them all.
She does have that. We're just going to swing, just the normal basic. We could have did her skill, Fu Xuan's normal attack, and then it's going to put lightning. And they just took 26. They are at, by the way, because they got a lot of defense reductions on them and stuff like that from the MOC. She is level 75 and everything. So now, since there's proc is at 5, I will do his bounce move, and you'll get to see how much damage he does with this. He just did 15k. She does not have bleed status on, so I can proc the. I'm going to put the bleed. And then we're going to do Kafka's there. She did 33,000. We only have a few little left. And then we're going to do her ultimate. So that whole time, I only had to proc her, for that, I only had to proc the ability for Fu Xuan once. And then, no, well, technically twice because of the talent, and then from there. So this is my Nihility team. If you do like what you saw and have any other questions, just send me a message in the description down below. But this is my Nihility team, and I would like to say thank you guys for checking out my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.